Sup guys, just a quick little coverage of the dev server. Everyone's going to go out and make a huge video just showcasing everything, but this is going to be a quick, concise list of what's being added. Firstly, there is a new A26 variant, the B10. There is the BE6, which for those who have been paying attention is a bundle pack. There is two Jills, the D4Y2 and the D4Y3. One has more guns than the other one. They're both going to be about 3.3, 3.0. The F4U4B, the Hornet Mark 1, the Hornet Mark 3, the KI-109, the P-51H Super Mustang, the SU-6AM42, and the SU-6AM42-23, the XA-38 Grizzly, the German K-Panzerwagen, whatever it's called, 70. They're adding the M47 for the Germantry as a premium. There is the German Waffenträger Krump Stur, the Japanese Type 5 Hori prototype, which really surprised me because I didn't think that was actually made. I'm assuming that's going to be the Rank 4 Premium, which means there's going to finally be something to grind out Japan with. The UK are getting the Chieftain Mark 10. The UK are also getting the Dalma Mark 2, which is basically the armoured car we have with the 220s on it currently, but it's got a 40mm 2-pounder gun. Going 50 miles an hour, it's going to be a quite fun little vehicle. Next, the UK is getting the FV102 Striker. Moving on to the US, there is the Ontaros M50, the M60A1 Rise Passive, the MBT-70, the T114, which is that funky recoilless rifle, Tier 5 Premium, the BTR-152, the Object 120, which has a fucking crazy high-velocity 152mm gun with a APDS shell that can go basically 1,700 something meters a second. Then there's the SU-100P, which is a funky rear-mounted gun tank destroyer. Sort of like open top, so there's going to be a Russian open top, which we haven't seen since the SU-76. There is also the T-64A 1971. So a few surprises, a few things we knew were coming. Interesting enough, there isn't a Sea Hornet. It's the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. But, hey, you get something you like, you get something you don't like. I want to do carrier landings with that monster. Additionally, France will probably be in the next update. You only need 3 Tier 5s to get to Tier 6. So, for me, that means I can basically get some Tier 6s straight off the bat. They're adding a new tank engine smokescreen system. This one basically is where you dump diesel fuel or whatever other kind of fuel you have directly onto the, what's the word for it, the exhaust. This heat then causes it to vaporize, creating a smoke screen, so things like the Cromwell are going to get this, and a lot of the Russian tanks. There is also indication that it is coming to Xbox One. The M46 and M47 are now in a folder. The M48A1 and the M60 are now in a folder. The M60A1 Rise comes directly after the A60A1 AOS. The MBT-70 comes directly after the T95E1. The P-51H5 comes directly after the F-82. The F4U4 comes after the F4U1C. The F4U4B comes after the F8F1B. The SB2C1C is now rank 3 instead of rank 2. The A26B10 is before the current A26B. The Waffenträger Stur is after the Nashorn. The E100 is now a premium in the tree. Don't know if that means that it has a premium bonus, but it's no longer in the main tree. They've added the German M47 as a premium. All the T-54s are in a folder, which sucks if you've ground through them, which I have. I have 2 of them unlocked, but hey, I don't have to get the 51 variant now. The SU-100P comes directly after the ASU-85. The BMP-1 is directly after the Object 906. The BTR-152 is directly after the Gaz Double M72K, which means it's going to be about a 3.3. The Object 120 is a premium. The SU-6AM42 is before the IL-10, because basically it's a worse IL-10 with 237s. The Chieftain Mark 10 is directly after the Mark 5, as expected. The FV102 is directly after the Swingfire. The UK Dalma Benz is first in the AA line. And the Hornets are after the Brigand. The Hori is the premium, as I said previously. The KI-109, not that anyone's going to fucking use it, is after the KI-102. And both of the D4Y2s are after the B5N. So, all in all, not much there. There's also the images available for all of them, which I just had a casual scroll through. Here is the German M47. Basically, it's going to allow you to grind out the rank 6s quicker. We've got the Hori. Look at that fucking slant on the front. I'm curious what they're going to do the stats for this, because it's really ambiguous. Like, it's basically shit pulled out of people's asses with this one. I'm intrigued how it's going to perform, because it's basically overweighted, so we'll see what its mobility... I'm assuming something close to the Ferdinand. Next, we have the SU-100P, open-topped as said, with a pretty large 100mm gun. I've got a gut feeling this is going to be like the Stura Emil, just garbage, but we'll have to see with that. Then we have the Object 120, with its 9-meter long fucking barrel. Look at that shit. Like, it just... crazy. But it's going to be one of those where you have to set up, because with the placement of the turret in the back, it's not going to be able to basically snap fire around corners and run away like a coward. You've got to set that thing up and then shoot with range. But because of your high muzzle velocity, I think that would be achievable. Next, you have the Chieftain Mark 10. It's just another Chieftain. Nothing new here. Then you have the Dalma Mark II. Now, this thing, 50 miles an hour, as said previously, this is going to be a little nippy monster. I'm assuming it's going to be about 1.0, 1.3, so all around I think it'll be quite fun. Next, we have the Striker, another ATGM. Haven't got much of a comment on them. Next, we have the SU-6 AM42. It's basically, as said, an IL-10, but instead it has 37s mounted on it. Not sure how it's going to perform. I'm not really a fan of the 37s on the SU-6, but I enjoy the rockets on it for ground attacking in ground RB. So we'll have to see how that one pans out. Next, we have the two D4Ys. First one's just got 2 guns in the nose and 1 in the back. Second one's got guns in the wings and guns in the nose and a better engine. So that will be a relatively fun little ground attacker if you're into low-tier ground attackers. Then we have the 2 F4Us and the Mustang H, which... this Mustang H, if they BR this incorrectly, is going to club. But if they BR it correctly, it's going to be faking Grittings and Spits every day of the week. So we'll have to see with this one. It's America, so people are bound to fuck it up and turn fighter like 10 feet off the deck with it, but we'll have to see. What are you most excited for from this leaked list? Are you hyped for like these crazy-looking tank destroyers like the Object 120? Are you like me, who's more interested in the humble, actually saw service vehicles like the armoured car here or the D4Ys? Personally, the D4Ys I'm quite excited for, as well as the Dalma. And there's some of these are quite funky. Like, I want to see how the Hori performs. I'm not going to buy it straight away, but I'm going to see a spam of them. Because based on what its stats are, it's probably going to be the rank 4 premium that Japan needs. And let's be honest, no one fucking likes the STAs. So like, comment, do all that good stuff down below. Let me know how you feel. Keep on gaming and have a good one.